Hello, I'm Joseph Dillard. In this, the third of our series on understanding how to interview a dream character using the online protocol found at Dreaming Healthy Families at integraldeeplistening.com, we are going to date and name the dream so you can find it again easily. After that, we will share basic principles regarding who and what to interview. Regarding dates, this case is a bit unusual because the calendar app doesn't go back enough centuries to when I had the dream. Ha ha ha. So normally you would put in that date for your dream. But in this instance, you see instead the date when I created this interview. However, it is possible to enter a date before 2010, but it's a bit tricky. The date program only sends you back by decades. So you click on the oldest year, then hit the down arrow, and it will take you to a previous decade of dates. You can do this multiple times until you find the date you want. Also, choose a name for your dream for ease in finding it again in the future. In this case, I am naming my dream The Holy Light. Now it's time for you to decide which of your dream characters to interview. There's no wrong character to choose to interview, but it is better, particularly for beginners, to not choose a person with whom they have a close waking relationship, like a parent, child, partner, or sibling. The reason for this is that we have strong emotional and historical ties to such people, and those ties can interfere with our objectivity and color the answers of the characters with our biases. You will find you will have better results if you choose a dream character that you are curious about, but with which you have no strong associations, like an animal or object in your dream. For this example, I am going to choose the rope that was being used to strangle my parents. Notice that the rope is a multiple character since there are two ropes in the dream. I could interview them separately, but I am going to treat them as one character since their function in the dream was similar. Rope is an object about which in general I don't have any strong associations, although I can come up with plenty of them from my knowledge of dream symbology, the part ropes have played in world mythologies, and my own personal experience with ropes. I've never interviewed Rope from this nightmare before because Rope is a relatively objective character in general, despite its persecutorial role in this nightmare. It is an example of a good type of character to interview from a dream. Now, a few words in general about interviewing dream characters. IDL interviewing is something like playing detective. You don't know what you are going to find. You establish some context in terms of the life issues you choose, the elements you choose to interview, your associations to them, and then let your curiosity, rather than your expectations, hopes, or fears, lead the way. The basic key to successful IDL interviewing is to suspend your own perspective, opinions, interpretations, and worldview in order to allow the perspective, opinions, interpretations, and worldview of the character to be heard. This is deep listening in an integral sort of way. It embodies respect in that it affords the value, autonomy, and perspective of the interviewed character the same respect that you would have others demonstrate toward yourself. This is reciprocity as a fundamental ethical principle, extended to imaginal elements, even secular and profane ones like spit or a toilet brush. Something of a radical idea for the third decade of the 21st century. More than just suspending our interpretations, embodying the perspectives of dream characters suspends our need for control, which is a fundamental scripting we all have been taught since before we could walk or talk. Therefore, Allowing an imaginal character to take over and become us seems not only irrational, but can also seem threatening. However, it is important to remember that taking other perspectives and internalizing them is something we all normally did as children and was a major tool we used to create our identity. Therefore, approaching character identification with the same sort of innocent playfulness of a child is a realistic and natural framing that I recommend. In that regard, be spontaneous in your answers. Don't think. If you take too long or there are pauses, that's you trying to say what's right or correct, putting words in the mouth of the character. You're not showing your dream character respect because you are not allowing it to speak for itself. There are degrees of identification, from pretending to give control to full-blown possession. I've seen, observed, and experienced them all, and I've never seen a case that generated decompensation or personality disintegration, even among schizophrenics, involving IDL interviewing. Full-blown identification is not necessary for IDL to work. It only requires that you stand back and allow the character to answer the questions for itself, from its own point of view. Don't think or analyze during the interview. Don't ask yourself, what does this mean? What am I saying? Such thoughts get in the way of allowing the character to express its own preferences, perspectives, beliefs, and worldview. You'll have plenty of opportunity later, at the close of the interview, to add your thoughts and interpretations. But during the interview process, that is counterproductive and defeats the process. You will only end up confirming your biases and maintaining your current control. Our next video in this series on the IDL Dream Interviewing Protocol is Taking the Perspective of an Interviewed Character. Thanks for watching. See you next time.